All right, well, let's get rolling. Welcome everyone who is here in person, and for anyone who will be joining us remotely or watching this at a later time. Today's training is on Google Docs. If you would, go ahead and pull out the resource doc that we've created for you. If you're watching this, you can get there by going to tinyurl.com, and then that address. Plug it in, it should take you to this slide, and from here you can get to the doc. This is the agenda, which we'll be covering today. Some of these items you're likely already familiar with. I saved the best for last, though. So the newest Google Docs features are down at the bottom, and some, especially with this group that is here today, I think you'll find it very useful. Yeah. All right, so having said that, let's go ahead and get started. New docs and templates. As you know, any Google Workspace product, the address begins with the name of the product followed by .google.com. So if you want to open up a new tab, just type in docs.google.com. And when you do that, it'll take you right there to the landing page. From here, you're going to see documents that are owned by you, owned by anyone, and you also have access to the template gallery, all right, up at the top. If you want to take a look at what some of these templates look like, you can do so. If you click this little label here, Template Gallery, you will see them divided into two different sections. We have Alcoa City Schools templates, which were created here in our district. And then, of course, we also have the Google branded and sometimes third-party created templates. Now, whenever you click on a template, that document basically becomes yours, right? It forces a copy of the template and it puts it inside your drive. At that point, you can do whatever you want with it, right? Doesn't actually affect the template itself, right? So you can see we have several in here. They're divided up by location. I think the ones for the ESC are located up there at the top. And the purchase requisition form, if you want to go ahead and just click on that, I can show you how this is going to work. And one of the things that we'll be talking about today is inserting these little chips or blocks, little drop-down menus. And this is what we have right here. This is a new feature that allows you to go ahead and basically create a list, and then you can choose from it inside of the doc without having to recreate it over and over and over. This is nice to have this. All right? Yeah, so, and I'll show you exactly how that's done, how to do that on your own. All right. For a new doc, I'll just, from my docs menu, go File and then New, and then we're at a totally blank page here. The very first thing that you'll want to do when you're working in a Google Doc or a Google Slide or Google Sheet is to go ahead and name it. If you don't do this, invariably what happens is you have a whole collection of untitled documents that sits there in your Google Drive, and you can't make heads or tails of them. All right, so just go up here in the upper left-hand corner and give your document a name. I'm calling this my awesome document. It's pretty awesome. All right, and then when you strike the return key, then it's labeled. All right. You'll notice you have a couple options here. You can automatically star the document if you want to. All right. That makes it easy to find in Google Drive, or you can move it to a folder from here. That little folder icon, and I know it's really hard to see on the TV screen there, but if you click there, you can see it's going to pull up your Google Drive directory. And so you can drill down through any of these folders, or if you want to, you can go to a shared drive if you want to put it there. Right? If you have some colleagues that you want to have access it. All right. Now, if you do this, it's going to allow you to continue working on it. It just places the location in that directory that you chose. All right. That makes sense? You can do that another way. Just click on the File menu. You'll also see the Move command right there. And there's usually more than one way to do something in Google Docs. So if you find a way that you prefer, feel free to do that. All right. Now, what happens if you attempt to trash a document that you're currently working on? Anybody ever done that? here's what happens. So I've got my awesome document pulled up. I'm going to say move to trash. All right, now it automatically puts it in the trash, and then it takes me back to the Docs home screen. All right, back where we were, and I can start over if I want. And that old doc is in the trash can. It remains there for 30 days, I believe, until it's auto-deleted. Okay, naming and moving, that's easy. And then, of course, we have the different editing modes. You have editing right over here on the right. So this comes into play whenever you share the document out with someone. All right, so if you've shared this with a colleague in the district, you can choose to allow them to edit the document, suggest edits, or view it only. Now, who in here could maybe explain the difference between these? Can anybody? Do you know what they are? I see some nods, all right? So I'm going to assume everyone here knows. But just in case you don't, maybe you're watching this, editing is going to give the user control over the document. So they can insert, remove, delete content, all right? No restriction there. Suggestion allows them to do the same thing, but it doesn't actually apply their changes. All right, you'll see the changes that they propose making, and it'll be up to you as to whether or not they're approved and they go through. And then, of course, viewing is just basically you have no control over it. You can just look at it. Make sense? All right, very good. All right, let's get into some basic formatting here. All right, basic editing if you're looking at your agenda. First thing I have is formatting text and getting new fonts. All right, so it's actually pretty easy. And if you have a new document pulled up, let's go ahead and type in a sentence, all right? The quick brown fox. Who can finish this? Lazy dog. Yeah, the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. And I'm going to increase my view a little bit here. Okay. Looks like I forgot the word the. Okay. So let's talk about changing our fonts now. In order to change the style, the font here, the color, some of the rich text formatting features, you have to first select it. All right. Now, if you've got a lot of text on your screen, you want to select it all at once, you can do a Command A. That will select everything. All right. See how that works? Just click anywhere, and then Command A, you've got it all selected. All right. From this point, of course, you can remove it by striking what key? The delete key. That's going to get rid of it. You can cut it, which is Command K. Command X. Paste is going to be Command V. All right, so if I wanted to have a bunch of these sentences here, I would Command C, click over here, V. See what I'm doing? Just by striking the Command V key. All right, keyboard shortcuts, they're going to save you a whole lot of time. But if you're wanting to change the style of your text, the whole sentence, you're going to select it, and then here's your font choices right up here. Up at the top will appear the recent font styles that you've used, and these are arranged alphabetically. You can see what they are. Some are more formal, some are more playful, some are basic, old school type fonts. So to apply the style, all you need to do is click on the style and it will apply it. All right. From here, you can quickly increase the size on your toolbar by clicking the plus symbol here. See what that does? Minus, that increases the font size one increment at a time, one level at a time. All right. Of course, we can do things with color. Here's our text color. If none of these colors are to your liking, you can always do a custom color. So if you're someone who deals with advertising or branding, and you're putting out something that represents Alcoa, it's probably important that you use the right shade of maroon. So for this, you would likely want to go to a custom color, and then from here, you could use an eyedropper, get the color that you want, paste in the hex value, and then it's going to pull up what you need. But for right now, I think I can probably achieve that by just dialing in. Let's see if I can get close. I think I'm getting close here. That's more purple. Here we go. Kind of close, right? But that's going to be a custom color, right? And you can have several different custom colors inside a document and go back and choose them if need be. Now, if you don't have enough font choices here at your disposal, you can always get more. And the way we do that is by going back up to the font choices and then choosing this option up at the very top, more fonts. Look there. Now it gets fun, because now you can scroll down and you can see they're divided by category. We have popular, of course, all fonts, script type fonts, and it's like you think you get to the bottom and you wait a couple seconds and then more will load. All right, so there's lots and lots there to choose from. Let's see if I can find something. Maybe calligraphy, if there's anything like that. Well, that's not quite what I'm looking for. All right, that actually was the name of that particular font. And sometimes it might take a little bit of, ooh, look at this. There's a pirate font. Say I want to add that one. Pirate 1. Right, so now I'm going to apply it. So now I've installed it. I can come down here, scroll down, and I should see it. There it is, Pirate 1. See that? Looky there. And just so you know, if you ever find yourself in a situation where you have to make a quick sign and you need really, really huge letters, you might think, well, Docs is great, but it only goes up to size 96. Not so. Look here. All you have to do is type in there, type in a new value. I'll type in 200, and then it gets massive. See? See how we did that? You just enter the value right in there for a quick sign on the fly. All right. And it looks like I skipped over something in my first section that is kind of important, and that is page setup. So before we go any further, let's go back just a little bit. Everyone click on your File menu, and you'll see down towards the bottom it says Page Setup. This is important. This is going to be where you decide what your margins are going to be, whether or not your document is in portrait or landscape orientation. You can even do a page color if you want to. This is page colors. Really just going to be if you distribute it electronically, because you're not going to print out probably a whole page of, like, if you chose the color yellow, I wouldn't think. That'd be going through a lot of toner. Yeah. So it's probably best to avoid changing your page color much. All right. And then you also have this new option over here on the right, which is a pageless option. And again, this is going to be more for virtual viewing. You can see the difference between the page and the pageless view. All right, basically takes advantage of your whole viewing area. And then if you make changes here, you can set them as the default. So each new document that you create, it will have these settings applied to them. All right, I haven't made any changes, so I don't have that default option visible. All right, let me quickly get rid of all my text. How do I select everything? Do we remember?
Command A.
Command A, very good. Command A, strike the delete key, and there we go. All right, I'm going to go back to a normal font. I like Poppins. That's an easy to read font, but this is still kind of huge. There we go. Let me enter that sentence again. All right. Okay, so let's let's talk about styles. So I've got a sentence there, and I'm going to strike the return key, then I'm going to go up one line and I'm going to type in style 1. All right, now your styles are going to be right over here. You see where it says normal text? Right now I'm using the normal text style. And if I select this, I can apply a different style to it. We have headings, 3 versions of them, heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. There's our title style right there. So if I apply heading 1 style to it, watch what it's going to do to the text. It's going to apply that style right there. And anytime, and this is a great way to break up content in your document. All right, and let me show you how this would work. I've got a document here that I've worked on earlier today. It's got some links in it. Yeah, here it is. Let me open this. This is sort of where I use these styles. All right, you'll see this later on in the training, but I used a style right here. This is heading 2, and I actually made my own style. So as you work your way through the document, you can see and identify where a different, in this case, add-on begins because of that style. And if you're viewing the course outline, styles basically act as links. So you can get to any part of your document with one click. So if I wanted to quick go to this last section, I could click on there and it would take me to it. That's what a style will do, right? It's like a hyperlink. You want to go back up to the front there? See how that works? Yeah. So here's how you would customize a style. All right, and if I can find the one I was working on. Yeah. So basically what you do is you set the style that you want. So I'm going to say I want to use the Poppins font because I like it so much. And I'm going to use bold. I'm going to make it bold. And I want to use the color blue for my style, for style 1. Then, to turn this and to apply it as style 1, I'll come back up here, heading 1, then look, update heading 1 to match. All right, so it's going to take the style that I manually created here, and it's going to apply that to heading 1. Okay, so now it's applied it. So now if I come down here, and if I type in style 2, watch this. I can select the text. I'll come back up to my styles. Look. And there's my style. See how I did that? I created a custom style. And if I decide, oh, you know what? I don't like that. I'm going to change this style there to a different color. Let's go with this maroon color here. I would update it. Come back over here. Update heading 1 to match this style. There we go. See that? And now if I view my outline, there they are. So you're going to have probably a lot more text in between your section breaks, like I did on this one here. So styles can really help make your document, especially when it comes to finding it. And I know we have these curriculum guides out there in the district, and when they're put together, if the folks who are creating them are using style, it's going to make it a whole lot easier on the people when they're trying to find information, right? Okay. Let me get rid of all this now. Any questions there about styles? All right. I've got this resource that I use quite a bit. It's a lorem ipsum generator. I had a funny story at a training. I'm not going to say where or who. But I used some of this sample text, and I had it printed out on a document. And I had one of the people in attendance tell me that the document that I printed out, it was all in Spanish, and I made some mistake. And I had to explain that's filler text. You know, that's just taking up the space there, because I think I was doing a training on teacher web pages. And so I was showing them what their web page could look like, and I didn't feel like typing out a bunch of words myself, so I used that. And so at any rate, this is lorem ipsum text, right? It's just dummy text that you use whenever you're working with examples and teaching. All right, so I'm going to just copy a few of these here, a few paragraphs, just so I'll have some content to work with. All right? Yeah. Let me just paste it in. All right, now I'm going to set this to normal. There we go. All right, so alignment and line spacing, of course, that can be adjusted. Back in the days when you had to type papers for your professors, you had to make sure that it was certain, the spacing was just so. Here's going to be how you do that. I'll select all of my text here. On your formatting toolbar, you're going to see this little button right here, line and paragraph spacing. If you click that, there's your single, 1.15, which is the default. You can do 1.5, double, and then you could also do custom spacing if you want. All right. Of course, your alignment, those are pretty familiar. We've been using these since the dawn of man. Left align, right align, center, right? Okay. Here's another useful tip. Working with columns. So if you're putting together a newsletter and you've got a bunch of text here, watch this. This is fun. Watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to select everything, Control A. If I go to Format and then go to Columns, look at what I have. I have a single column, or look at this. I can automatically divide it up into 3 columns, or 2 if I want. If I can come back here, go back to columns, I can see more options. Maybe I want to put a line in between there and apply it. Look at that. Looks like it was professionally done. Great if you're putting together a little newsletter, right? And that was really easy to do. Format, columns. You just want that single column, come back here, and then choose the single style, and it'll take it back to the way it was. Okay? Let's talk about bullets and numbering. I'm going to get rid of this text here. Let's type in a few items, literally. Item 1, item 2, item 3. All right? To apply a series of bullets, you're going to select your text and then just click on your bullets over here, bulleted list. There are different styles you can choose from. All right? To apply, just click on it. And there you go. Now, those aren't enough bullets for you. You can come back up to your Format menu, Bullets and Numbering, and then you have some more options here. Look at this. I want more bullets. In fact, I want emojis to be my bullets. Broken heart. There we go. See how we did that? You can actually select the bullets here, increase the size, decrease the size. And what I'm doing here, folks, is I'm showing you how you can control every element of your document. So at the end of the day, if it doesn't look great, like I say, it's nobody's fault but yours, because you know how to make changes, right? Of course, if you want to get rid of your bullets, just go back to your toolbar there and then uncheck it, and then it'll take your bullets away. So you're putting together a newsletter or a doc, you're sending out information. Maybe it's to a themed party or event, and there are things that folks need to bring, or you could apply bullets, and you could maybe kick it up a notch by having custom bullets. All right? Any questions there? Pretty easy to do. Let's move into drawings. How do you get drawings into your document? Well, you got to think of it this way. If it's something you want to add, that means the same thing as to insert. So we click on the Insert menu, right? And you could go to Drawing. Basically, drawing is it's a portion of docs that lets you draw things, sort of like a drawing program. Let me show you how you might use this. All right, so if I go Insert Drawing and I say from Drive, watch this. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. There's the folder I made for Megan. Insert, drawing, new. All right, so then when you do that, it's going to take you to this screen, basically, so you've got a blank canvas. And at this point, you can bring different elements in. All right, you can add pictures that are online. All right, so let's say I want to do a search for a school bus. I can do that. Should bring up some photos here. Yeah, look at all those photos. But I could also do clip art. Okay, so here's one. I'll click on that and I'll say select. So it brought in the graphic. Now I can move this around if I want to. Now what else can I do? Maybe I want to add a little word art here. I'll type in Alcoa. Put that up here.
How do you bring the text to front if it's behind the image?
How do you bring the text to front? You're going to control click on it, and you see where it says order.
Oh.
There you go. All right. So then when you're working with word art, you can adjust, of course, the color. All these things. This drawings is also great if you want to make a little tutorial. Grab a screenshot. You can paste content into this area, and then from here you can annotate it by adding little arrows or shapes or other things. All right, so if your design is finished, just click Save and Close, and it'll take that and it'll put it right there in your document. And then from here, of course, you can resize it just by clicking in the corner and dragging. And then if you saw that you misspelled something or need to make a change, just double click on the drawing and it'll take you right back here to where you can edit it. If you want to get rid of it altogether, just select it and strike the delete key and it's gone. All right. You can, of course, insert graphics from your computer, your Google Drive, anywhere on the web. You're just going to go Insert, Image, and you can see what those options are. You can even pull one directly from your camera, from your webcam. In fact, I'm going to do that now. So I'm going to say Image from Camera. Okay. Oh, I got to hit the... It should give me a... Well, here I am. All right. All right, there I am. Okay, let's get rid of that. All right. I really could spend a lot of time just with the drawings and adding images and things you can do, but we don't have the time. There's no time. All right, we've got to move on. Got to move on. But you might find these other elements useful, including... where are we here? Where are my shapes here? Insert. Did they move them? Table, drawing. No, it's they're moving around things. I wonder if they remove that feature. Watermark. Sure. No, it's not there. It's not there. We'd have to do it in drawing. Okay. It used to be that you could add like stars, speech bubbles, things like that. So they've sort of streamlined things a little bit. So now if you want to add that, you'd have to do it in the drawing area. All right. Some other things you can do here include adding charts. If you click on the Insert menu, you see your chart options there. And so this will pull data from any Google Sheet. All right, so if I chose a bar chart, you can see what this is going to look like. And then if you click on it, all right, you're going to see this little icon appear, linked chart options. You can open the source, and that's going to allow you to go into the Google Sheet and manipulate the data. And when you make your changes, it'll automatically be reflected back in your Google Doc. See? Open source. Then it takes you to Google Sheets. Okay? There's a lot of nice, professionally done charts that you can pick from there. Bar, column, and all of these can be customized. Again, really don't have much time to go over all those features. All right, sharing and distribution. Most of us know how to do this. You'll see the share button over there on the right. Simply click it. Want to name it first. All right. Share it with an individual by adding their name or the name of the group, or you can open it up for public access or general access by setting the option right here. I'll typically, if I know a lot of people are going to be viewing it, I'll just set it to Alcoa City Schools. That's how most of the resources that I post to the web page are. If employees here are going to access them. All right, now if it's folks out there in the public, then I'll set it to anyone with the link. All right, and once you apply that setting, you can copy it, and then you'll have what you need. All right, you probably didn't know this, that you can email directly from inside Google Docs, and if you click on the File menu, look at these options. These are new. All right, you can email it directly, email this file, or email a draft. Now, I don't have any text on here. Let me see if I still have stuff on my, here we go, yeah. Notice what happens if you choose email this file. It'll actually take it. It's like you've got Gmail right here in front of you, a little version, a stripped down version of it right here. You can type in the address, right? Subject heading, little message, and then you can even convert the file before you send it out and then send it away. And then inside Gmail, it'll actually, if you went to Sent, it'll actually show you this version as well. It's pretty neat. Okay. Downloading this document is quite easy. Just click on the File menu. You'll see the download option. A few different formats there. Google Docs is fully compatible with Microsoft Word, so if you sent this out as a DOCX, they could open it up in Microsoft Word. Also, if someone sent you a DOCX file, which is a native Microsoft Word document, it'll open it up directly here in Docs. There's no converting anymore that needs to be done. All right? That's kind of a big deal as well. All right? Typically, whenever I download a Google Doc, it's because I'm trying to convert it, in most cases, to a PDF. All right. Version history, that's great. Any of you ever use version history? So basically this is like going back in time. So if you click on File, you'll see Version History. Click See Version History, and then if this is an old document, you'll see over there on the right all the dates that it was worked on. And if it was worked on multiple times on the same day, you'll have a drop-down arrow where you can go specifically by minute to the changes that were made. And so you could automatically restore your document to the way it appeared at a certain point in time, if need be. Version history. It saved me on many occasions. And one thing too, so if you like the way this document is right now, you could save a version. See this? Or name the current version. That way, if you're going to be working on it later, you can always quickly go back to this version because it's got a name on it. Right? All right. Let's look at some other things here. All right? I call them doc utilities. Text capitalization automation. This is nice. Watch this. I'm going to take my text here. If we go to Format, Text, look at these options. Bet you didn't know this was here. Capitalization. You can automatically make everything lowercase, uppercase, or title case without any third-party utilities. So watch this. I'll say uppercase. Whoop, just capitalized everything. Go back to Format, Text, Capitalization. All lowercase again. There we go. Or title case. Format text, capitalization. That's going to take the first letter. You know how long it would take you to do that if you had to do it manually? If you're working with a lot of names, that feature could come in quite handy, I'd say. This is another useful utility. So if you happen to copy and paste a lot of text into the document and it's got all kinds of funky formatting, rather than going in and changing it, one paragraph at a time, if you selected everything, you could go to Format. Look here, Clear Formatting. So basically that strips your text of any formatting setting that has been applied to it, and it sets it back to the font style that is inside this doc. All right, so it removes anything. Just makes it plain text. Plain old-fashioned text. See? There's the text in its rawest, purest form right now. And here's another little utility I love. Voice typing. Any of you ever done this? Click on the Tools menu. Go to Voice Typing. And click here to speak. Allow it. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. Period. There we are. Did you not know this? Oh, wow. Yeah, just say what you want to have on the page, and it'll type it for you. All right, and then you can make that go away. Maybe. Maybe. All right, so that's there. All right, we've got just a few minutes left. Hopefully I can get through these last little parts here. All right, let's talk about these new features. Look at here. Insert smart chips and building blocks. All right, so if you click on your insert menu, look at this. Smart chips. So how do I describe smart chips? Chips are going to be little snippets of data that are pulled from your Google Workspace account. It could be contacts, could be calendar events, could be a number of different things. And it presents it in a way that is easy to digest in this document. So if I said I wanted to reference one of my colleagues here, I could say people. All right, and then it's going to automatically put in this chip here, and it's going to allow me to later click on them and see detailed info there. All right, so I can get rid of that chip. Watch, let me do it one more time. Insert, smart chips, people. And then you can click on it. Let's see what other kind of chips we can add. File. So instead of inserting the entire document or me having to copy the share link, I could embed it here in this document and people can click on it and see a little preview of it. And what's nice about the chip is that's what it is. It's a little chip. It's not taking up much space. It's condensed. But if somebody hovers over it, they can see what it's all about. All right, and so this is going to pull from your most recent documents here. All right? These are called smart chips, or even calendar events. I got a meeting tomorrow. If I click on it, there it is. And then I can copy that information if I want. It looks like they got one more option there, and that's a place. This will pull from Google Maps, I believe. What's our address here? It's 524. Faraday. There we are. There's the address chip. See what it does? All right. Building blocks, you'll see those two under the insert menu. All right, so if you wanted to take something and create an email draft, you can email directly from Google Docs. Look here. Click an email draft. You can actually start typing the address, subject heading, create it all here, and then it'll show up as a draft whenever you pull up Gmail. And the idea here is you not having to leave one Google service and move into another one. You can basically do snippets of it in the same place. All right? Look at some other ones that we have here. All right? There are meeting notes that we could do. So what this will do is this will take this doc, and you can choose any of your upcoming events, and it will place this document as a note that is shared out with anyone who attends that event. So when they click on the event in their calendar, they're going to see this doc. Does that make sense? Okay. These others down here are really for if you're in a business environment working on a big project, so I seldom really reference them. Just know that they're there. All right, doc approvals. This is another great one. I used it a while back. I sent it out to the principals. I wanted to get their approval on a map that I had drawn for them. So the way you do that is you're going to click on File and then go Approvals. All right, so that at this point, you've created the document. You want to send it to your supervisor, someone above you, to take a look at it. So you click Make a Request, add their name and a message, maybe when it's due, and then you can send the request. They'll receive that email with a direct link to the file. They can look at it and approve it, and automatically you're notified, so you know that you're good to go. And you can get it printed out or whatever you need to do. Document approvals. I encourage you all to test it out. Not right now, because we're running out of time, but just to see how this works. And I'm happy to play the role of a guinea pig as well. You want to just test it before you're actually working with a real document. Okay? Google added the ability directly to insert emojis. You can do that. It's now underneath the Insert menu. All right, that'll pull them up automatically for you. This is a nice one here. Watermarks. Look at this. So if I click on Insert and go to Watermark, you can actually pull in an image to serve as your watermark, or you click in text, and I could say maybe draft. See that? You can adjust the transparency of that if need be, as well as the color of the font, what it says. You've seen that before on documents. Now you know how to do it in Google Docs. All right? I mentioned drop-down lists earlier. Insert, drop-down. There it is, right there. Insert drop-down. All right? So what I'm going to say, I did a building location. So I'll say new drop-down. I'm going to title this Alcoa Schools. Option 1, that'll be the ESC. Option 2, that'll be AES. Then I'm going to go AIS. And then AMS. Then I can change colors here. I'll just go across the row there. There we go. Now I can save it. Now look, I've added this to my document, or if this was a template, somebody could click on it and choose. They can now pick it. This is what we did in that template for the purchasing, Beverly. This is exactly what I used here. And you could add or edit options. See that? All right. Last thing I'm going to show you today is notifications. Megan, do you remember about a year and a half ago we had an issue with a staff member who wanted to get notified anytime a change was made to a Google Doc?
Yeah.
Remember that whole?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, at the time, Google Docs didn't have that feature built in. Google Sheets does. But if you have a document shared out and you want to know when a colleague or somebody you've shared it with has actually worked on it, look here. You can click on Tools, and then from here, it was under Notifications, and where am I? Here we are, Notification Setting. You can see it's brand new. So look at our options. Add or removed content. If you choose that, you're going to be notified whenever somebody makes a change to a document. All right, this is going to be great if maybe somebody who's trying to keep appointments or stay up to date with changes that are happening to inside the district, and they're working on a shared document. They'll automatically be notified here just by choosing this option, added or removed content. Again, that's brand new. Wow, it's been a whirlwind. It is 4:31. We moved really, really quickly. I appreciate everyone paying attention. This whole thing was recorded, so if you need to go back and reference anything, it's there. Before you leave here, of course, you want to make sure you get credit for having received the training. So in the resource doc, click the little button that says Training Certificate. All right, and then click the link that will appear. It'll take you to the Google form. Fill it out. The session title for today is Google Docs. Make sure you choose that. Enter your name as you'd like it to appear on the certificate. Click Submit. And in about 15 seconds, you'll see that certificate, and you can use it as proof of your having attended. Folks, that is all I have for today. Again, thank you for coming. Have a great afternoon.